Hey guys, it's Dan Lotz and Joel Dick, and we wanted to go through and read a couple of your comments and respond to a few things.
This is from Talk Good English. He asked, "The color grading and shot composition really make this film, as does the Fargo-esque humorous approach to the subject matter."
I mean, I feel like that's very much our style. It's very
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
deadpan, dry humor. I think that's something that me and Joel have always tried to incorporate into the film, is just a sense of humor. And
There's got to be a purpose to your humor, and it can't just be sort of unfounded out of nowhere. If it's not there at all, and then there's just a random joke,
yeah,
if the characters in the scene sort of react to that, and you sort of feel that tension, like why would someone make a joke? That could work, but it just the context of it and how much you use humor is very important in I think any type of film.
I especially think if you're making a film that's dramatic, I think humor is a good way to keep it from feeling stale or boring or sad. Humor is a nice way to cut things up and kind of give a clean slate to a scene. Okay, your username is Big Tids. Okay, we get it. Says, how did you do it? This is a beautiful film. How did you do it? I think it was just as simple as getting an idea, getting a friend, getting a camera, and then not giving up. If you can do those four things, I don't think there's anything that's going to really stop you.
All right, Burke615 says, "How the hell did you make me cry with the word hey?"
That was spoilers, obviously. This was a scene I devised, I think, pretty early on, where I wanted to have a very emotional connection between the brother and the sister at the very end of the film. And I wanted it to be something that we've all had this, and I was thinking about this the other day, that the film Chlorine is a very relatable sort of film. It's sort of this down and out guy who wants to do the right thing. And I think so many of us want to be, we're kind of down and out and we want to do the right thing. And I was thinking about that, and I think the right thing can be as simple as just calling your sister, can be as simple as just reconnecting with family. You want to take the next one?
Yep, so we have a comment from Busby Productions. He says, "Hey, I have a channel where I try to do short skits. I'm just starting out, but I was wondering if you guys could give me any tips on how to improve filmmaking to make my videos better." Now, there's a lot of tips. We have a lot of videos, actually, that touch on that. We'll have some annotations. I'm just joking. I'm not going to actually bring you to another video. That's a lot of other people do that. No, there's a couple quick tips that go into this. I said this on the Austin McConnell interview. It didn't get to make the cut. In terms of what I do, I'm mostly doing cinematography stuff. Obviously, Dan and I both work on the story and everything else. But in terms of cinematography in general, the way I really learned and got better at my cinematography, which is still obviously a work in progress, get into photography. You don't have to have a lot of equipment. The equipment isn't as crazy. You don't have to put as much money into it. Obviously, here at 922 Films, we're all about saving money and doing stuff for cheap.
What?
So get yourself a cheap camera and just learn composition first. It's something it really helps you out. All right, Dan, you want to take this one?
If Kim Jong-un was white and American. Sure.
This law? Right on. Felix Does Stuff says, "Do you guys get copyrighted from songs you used?"
We're going to do a whole video on this at some point, but we'll give you a little brief rundown of it. You do get copyrighted, so essentially what happens is you pick out the songs. I would definitely create a dummy YouTube channel. You didn't hear this from me. I would create a second YouTube channel. I would run through whatever scene you're going to use, and I'd pick out the songs that you were going to use. And then I would post the video. And if the video doesn't get pulled within a week of it being live, I think you're okay. You can then put the film together with those songs. YouTube will give you what is called a copyright notice. They're going to say, someone essentially claimed the song. They then are going to monetize the song, so you cannot monetize your film or whatever project you're using. But you can use the song in your video. So essentially, if you don't have a giant YouTube channel, you're not going to make any money off of the videos anyways. So we thought it would be better to just have good songs in the film rather than worry about making maybe $100 on YouTube, where at that point we still couldn't even monetize. You can't monetize until I think you're past a couple thousand subscribers. So that being said, you do get copyrighted, but you can get around that system because YouTube essentially allows you to use them just without making any money. Your channel could technically get pulled down if the person doesn't like it, but I don't think that's very common. So let's go on to the next comment.
So Eddie says, I want to say thank you. Lately, everyone has been telling me to aim for something more realistic. Every time I say I want to be a film director, they think I'm joking or that they just think I'm not going to make it. And I understand them. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have connections. Heck, I live in Mexico. But after saying this, I'm going to start doing something. And this is sort of something that we've always been
doing.
We've been doing, and we've been trying to get other people to do. We were so excited that Austin McConnell was
willing to come out to visit and
willing to say the same message, right? Which is just do something. When you say you can't, everyone in the independent film space, I guarantee you, Dan has had it, I have had it, other film friends that we know have had the same talk from people in their lives, whether it be parents, friends, family, whoever. They'll say, yeah, we'll try to get an actual job. And it's something where, at the beginning, you don't really get a lot of, help, feedback, support, and it really stinks, but you just got to keep going with it, push through, and if you're really focused on it, you're meant to be a filmmaker, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you push through that stuff, that's the kind of perseverance you need in order to make it, in my opinion. So, CI asks, I love the song so much. Can you provide me a list of all of them?
There will be a link either pinned to the top of this video, and I believe I put a link in the original Chlorine video to a Spotify playlist. We will make a YouTube playlist at some point, and the goal would be for you guys to be able to listen to all the songs. So there is a Spotify playlist out there. I will put it to the top of this video, and then if no one can find it, just comment it, and I'll directly send it to you.
Also, the description of the Chlorine film, YouTube lists every piece of music.
Yeah, if you just click the description, you can literally read every song. It's a very simple way, especially if there's copywritten songs, they have to put it in there. It's part of the agreement that YouTube has with these licensing companies. So that is a really great way to check out songs, especially if they're copywritten.
Okay. Bowsen says, how did you color grade the footage? Film stock emulator? ? Love the warm, airy tones. Dan, do you want to take this one?
I would love to do a separate video on this topic, but I will give you a very quick breakdown of what I did. So I used Premiere to color the film. I used the Tropic Color Luxe Pack, and I used a specific preset called Marlin. That was what I used for the whole film, and it was a very specific color stock that I've worked on in terms of these LUTs. It's something I've worked on picking a very specific LUT that fits my style, and I've stuck with that since. And I think for the foregoing future, this will probably be the style we'll use. I think it's a very good. It has kind of like these split tones where you have a little bit of a warm orange, and then you kind of get the greens and the blues become a little bit more of a teal color. And I think it really looks nice in combination with dual cinematography. So guys, thank you so much for checking out our video specifically on how we respond to your questions on Chlorine. It was so awesome to get all these questions. Maybe if we get some more views on the video, we'll do some more questions. We would love to answer all these questions you guys have. Put some more questions down below of what you thought about the film or anything, and we would love to go in more depth on how we could explain how we made the feature film.